Hi, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Aldina, and I am the creator of Divinely Healing. And today, I actually wanted to talk about my spiritual journey with you guys. It has been very, very important for me and very, very eye opening for me. And I've had a lot of growth ever since I had an awakening and started digging deep. And for those of you that have been following along, you do know I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder when I was 17 in 2015. And that was a huge catalyst for my spiritual awakening because when all of that happened, I had to dig deeper. I had to understand why this was happening and what I could do to change it. And once I started digging, it's like all these things started to come together. And I would say that's pretty normal for a lot of people that go through a spiritual awakening. It's some kind of life changing event that happens. And like I said, then you start digging deeper because you have to find the meaning of things. You have to understand why certain things are happening the way that they're happening. And it's kind of all been up and down, but I'm at a place now where I am learning to really balance it all. So, to balance my spirituality, right, and the spiritual, and with this reality, this physical that we are currently in right now. I've realized that at the beginning of my journey, I was using spirituality as a form of escape. And I think a lot of people do that as well. I wanted to escape my body. I wanted to escape my thoughts. I wanted to escape my life, this earth. I was almost longing for home, and I didn't even know where home was. I was so obsessed with ascending, right? And getting to the next level, getting to the fifth dimension, getting out of the matrix, right? All of these things to just not be here currently in my body and in this reality. But as time has passed and I've grown, I've slowly been coming home to myself. But this whole time, what I didn't realize was that home was me. It was within me, right? All these things that I was searching for were already inside of me. And so this past year, I really, really focused on learning to balance the two, right? Learning to balance all sides of who I truly am. It's like I went into a full hermit mode and I I cut off a lot of people and I even isolated myself a little bit, but the reason I did that is because I wanted to really focus on that spiritual side of myself and I wanted to almost find that company that I wanted, that love that I wanted within myself. And I felt that other people and other things were distracting me from that. I'm still kind of in the process of learning how to deal with that, right? Because I can't always be alone, I can't always isolate myself. Your true growth is tested, right? When you're in these situations, when you're around other people, when you are forming relationships, that's when your true growth is tested. It's so easy to be alone and to not have any bumps in the road and for everything to be so easy breezy, but it's a lot harder, right? When things are all over the place and there's so many people that are coming into your life that are almost like testing your patience. But there are so many things that I've learned regardless on this journey. And I guess I wanted to share some of them with you, some of the lessons. And I know that people are going through the same thing. I know that people have the same ideas and thoughts. And I know that it's difficult, right, when you're kind of on this path to relate to people. Because again, it's so different for everyone, and everyone has a different path, and that's fine. That's wonderful. That's the way that it is and the way that it's supposed to be. But anyways, um I would say the number one thing for me is learning that we are the co-creators of our lives, and that the world is as we see it. And I say co-creators, I don't want to say full creators of our lives, because I still do believe in fate and destiny and a higher power. And I don't truly like when people um, say that, everything that's happened in your life you have created, right? It's not so black and white. In fact, most things are very gray, and there's a lot of in betweens and a lot of exceptions to the rules and whatever. And so, what I mean by being a co creator is, I mean the way that you think, the thoughts that you think about yourself and about the world and how you see it become true. The things that you say to yourself every single day, they become true. Your brain and the universe are constantly showing you things to confirm your thoughts. And something else that I have learned that I think is very important, everything is a reflection of you. And I know that's kind of silly to say, right? And maybe even a little self centered, but because we are all one, because everything is so connected, and I'm no different than the person next to me, or the my favorite tree at the park, or even, the spider crawling on my wall. I want to say that, again, the way that you're feeling on the inside and the way that you're feeling about yourself is going to be projected onto everything else, onto the outside world. And so a lot of the times, if you look back at, your relationships and your friendships and even your relationship with your family, there are certain things that they have done or said that have triggered you, right, to act a certain way, think a certain way, feel a certain way. And those feelings and thoughts are like a big flashing sign as to something that you maybe need to work through. And I noticed that when I started working on my relationship with myself, that's when the rest of my relationship started to improve. And so that is why I say that all of these things are a reflection of you and the way that you see yourself and the relationship that you have with yourself. And I would say that is truly so important to know and to understand. I've also seen so many people talk about spirituality and like say the silliest things, honestly, and have so many misconceptions about spirituality. But ultimately, to me, spirituality is about connecting with yourself and therefore connecting with God. It's about recognizing your power and knowing that you are capable of absolutely anything. It's about creating your life the way that you want it to be. And I want to say that if you can imagine it in your head, that means that it's real, or that it can be real. One of the most important things you can do is to learn how to ground yourself. You have to learn how to ground yourself. You have to learn how to brush things off and how to tell yourself that these little things that come up in your daily life that trigger you or annoy you or piss you off are truly not that important. And that kind of falls into this whole, you are responsible for your life, for your happiness. You have to know that this moment that you are in right now is the most important. We can always be looking for the next best thing, that's going to make our lives so incredible, so grand. And I feel like when we do that, which a lot of us do that, we're almost like taking away from this present moment and we're not enjoying our lives for what they are. And so for me, it's about the little things, right? It's about the cutest little bird waking me up at 5 in the morning because it's singing its beautiful song. It's about, my boyfriend picking me up from the airport and getting to run and jump into his arms and hug him. It's about getting the chance to spend time with the people that I love. It's about that daily silence that I try to find every day because it brings me peace. That's what it's about for me. And so I just want to say that your presence is a present, and to enjoy who you are in this moment and where you are in this moment, because you will never be this exact same person that you are right now, and you will never have this exact same day as you're having right now. And I truly believe that gratitude is the key to your dream reality, whatever that may be. But just including gratitude, even in your prayers, and saying things that you're grateful for. This can not only help you, right, get to where you want to be, but it also helps you see things in a different way. And even on the days where it's so hard, right? You can have the worst day, but sometimes just opening up a journal and writing at least 3 things that you're grateful for can drastically change how you feel in that moment. It's just a way to almost like alter your brain a little bit and try to look for the good things instead of always looking for the bad things. And this is a very important one too for me, is that life will keep pushing you to your limits until you decide to finally make a change. Right? So you'll continue to be sick. You'll continue to be in toxic relationships. You'll continue to be unhappy until you decide to make a change. Things that happen to us are not punishments, but they are just ways for us to learn and grow and evolve. It's just a way to push you into a different direction, a way to push you to get closer to yourself and to God so that you may remember who you truly are. And you're allowed to be more than one thing, and you're allowed to believe multiple things. There are only the rules that you make. Okay, these other rules that have been made by society and whoever are only real if you make them real. Your life is for you, it's your experience. And so, what anyone else says, what anyone else thinks, it's none of your business. You can believe in anything that you want to believe. You can be anything that you want to be. You just have to know that you can do that. You just have to have faith and trust that you can do that. And you don't need any validation from anyone else or anything around you, but only from yourself. All the things that you are seeking are within you. All the love, the happiness, it's all there within you. All the answers that you seek are within you. All you have to do is remember. And to remember, you have to strip, right, everything from you that has been formed through your life, because subconsciously you have been picking up on all of these things from your environment, from your parents, in your family, in your friends, in your relationships, in everything around you. And these things have been forming the person that you are today. And all these thoughts that you have, and feelings, and ideas, even, and even actions, they all come from a place of love or a place of fear. But I want you to know that there's nothing to be afraid of, because love is the ultimate reality. And as I've talked about before, learn to open your heart. Learn to let everything flow through you. Stop closing yourself off because you're afraid, right? There it is again. There's that fear. Because you're afraid. You're afraid to feel. You're afraid to get hurt again. You're afraid to be rejected. Let go of the fear. It's only up here. You're only creating it yourself. Let everything pass through you. All the feelings, let them pass through you. All the experiences, let them pass through you. Take them for what they are in the moment and then let go of them. Don't hold on, because everything is temporary and nothing lasts forever. And this is important because you must experience everything in order to be all of it. You cannot experience what you are until you have experienced what you are not. How can you understand what it feels like to be warm if you've never been cold? How can you experience what it feels like to go up if you've never been down? And it is incredibly important to experience all that life is. You cannot constantly be happy, but you also cannot constantly be sad. And when you have experienced all of these feelings and even so much of life, you start to understand other people, right? You start to see the person next to you as you, and you remove the judgment. It's all about perspective. It's all about understanding from the soul's point of view, right? And removing all this extra layers that were added to all of us over time. And so, with that, I say, open your heart, anyways. Learn to let things go and let things flow. And learn to do things for your enjoyment, not because you expect something from it, not because you want a certain thing to happen, but just because you like it, right? I didn't make this YouTube channel because I wanted to be famous and I wanted to make all this money, but I did start this YouTube channel because I wanted to share and open up, and I wanted to help people in any way that I could. And I thought that this would be a good way to do that, and to have, some sort of platform to be able to do that. And once you start to see things differently and experience things differently, you notice that everything is magical. And we have all these distractions all the time, this stimulation that's almost like blocking us from connecting to ourselves, connecting to nature, connecting to the universe. But when you learn to block out that noise, block out, that stimulation, all the distractions, you start to see how magical everything is and how beautiful it is. And you maybe even start to be a little lighter and not take life so seriously. And I know this last thing that I'm about to say is more controversial. Um, but I've learned on this journey that God is very real. God is in everything. We are just fractals of God. God is love. God is everything and nothing. All of these things that you maybe feel guilty for is all God as well. And so I say it's okay to participate in your life and the things that are happening around you. It's okay to feel every single emotion, even if that emotion is viewed as negative. There are going to be days and moments where you feel like complete crap and you're really low and angry and irritable and sad and full of pain. And then there are going to be other days and moments where you are on cloud nine and you are happy and full of love and gratitude and joyful. And you feel like no one can bring you down. And that's completely normal. That's okay. I feel as though so many people put pressure on themselves to be perfect all the time, to not complain about things, to not have any sort of anger or sadness within them. Feel all of your emotions and express them the way that you see fit. Express them in your truth. And stop thinking that you're a bad person for it. Stop thinking that you're bad for feeling a certain way and doing a certain thing. I want you to see all of these things as energy and stop putting like these good and bad labels on everything. And just know that this energy that you have needs to be released. It cannot be stuck within you. I guess I ultimately just want people to understand that you're more than just this that you see when you look in the mirror. You're more than that. You're not just this flesh and these organs, but you are a soul and you are having a human experience. And that no matter what, you will always get to your final destination, wherever that is for you, right? When things seem so out of place, so up and down and left and right, and things seem to be changing directions, and maybe you feel overwhelmed, just know that these little changes are happening because maybe the path is different than you thought it would be. But that's fine. That's all right. Learn to have faith in yourself and the universe. It's like so interesting because the universe is the thing pushing you off the edge, it's pushing you off the cliff, but it's also there to catch you. It's like waiting for you. You're waiting for you. So find the things in your life that you love and that make you happy. And if there's nothing that you love and nothing that makes you happy, then create it. There are no rules except for the rules that you make for your life. Know that if you don't go within, you go without. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will talk to you guys again very soon. Peace.